Okay, so this is chapter 3, section 2, angles formed by parallel lines and transversals. So can you identify each angle pair? Ooh, this is interesting. So are angles 1 and angle 3 corresponding?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So the way I think of it is, look at this as though this forms the face of a clock, right? So angle 1 would be like in the 11 o'clock, angle 3 is as well. Okay, then it would be whatever way you want to look at it, orientated there, the upper left, right? Angles 3 and angle 6 we would call?
Alternate interior.
Good job, alternate interior angles. Angles 4 and angle 5 are?
Alternate exterior.
Good job. And then 6 and 7 are?
Same side.
What's the other fancy way to say it?
Isn't it like correlated?
Correlated. Corresponding.
Same side, yeah, I said it, I'm pretty sure on the video. Consecutive. I don't think they put it that way, they use same side. But know that there are two terms. Okay, angles formed by parallel lines. So what we're going to learn today is that when we have parallel lines, not only do we have those same relationships that we were talking about yesterday, which were the corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side, but we also have some congruency, because the transversal, in this case a transversal T, is forming angles that actually are the same measure, right? So if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of blank angles are congruent. What is the missing word? The pairs of what? Like, what would one be congruent to in this? Good, corresponding, that's right. The corresponding angles are congruent. So this is known as the corresponding angles postulate. ECF. What is it? We're supposed to find ECF. Are you guys already revealing the answers here? No. Oh, they've already, okay. ECF. So ECF would be corresponding with what over here?
A,
Kara.
A, B,
ECF, give me another one. How about G, B, C? Oh, so ECF must be 70 degrees, which is what this says, right? 70 degrees. Corresponding angles postulate, right?
Oh, no. Did you justify these two?
Yes, of course.
No.
Measure of DCE, and please consider using your pencil or an eraser to trace what you're actually looking at when you have a complex thing like this, right? So DCE, oh, that's 5x. 5x. Okay, so what would that be corresponding with?
BCF.
What?
No, wait.
No.
Well, yeah, but
Oh, it would, because what would you call those two angles?
vertical angles.
Those are vertical, but do we know C? Okay, so what else could we say it's that's not really corresponding, that's just a vertical angle with this. This 5x, what?
ABC, so we could do on
ABC. And if this, oh, by the way, if this is 70 degrees right here,
Oh,
what can we say about this ABC?
it's 110
How do you know?
because it's a linear pair.
Oh, a linear pair right here. These are going to add up to 180, right? You know, I'm curious. Wait a minute. So if what Kara says is true, then this entire angle ABC equals what?
180. I mean 170. 110.
110. So what does 5x equal? 110. Okay. Oh, they actually put it in terms of the 4x plus 22. This would be true as well, right? This would be true as well.
So X equals 22.
Either way it works. So x equals 22. Good job. And this was using the corresponding angles and subtracting from both sides. Okay, so DCE equals 5x, and what does this say? This is just substituting to show that this is true, okay? Actually, we don't have the answer yet. What is the measure of DCE? Well, it's
110. I can say 110.
which is what Kara already said. It's 110. So very good. Say anything out loud. Measure of QRS. Find the measure of QRS. Not hard, is it? Okay, I have two people knowing. Thumbs up when you know. 3? QRS. And Kaylin, tell us what it is.
62.
62, and how did you find it?
180 minus 180.
Good, because QRS is supplementary to this 118 because it is supplementary to X, right? And X and 118 are corresponding. So this must be 118. QRS plus X is 180. Okay, so let's see their reasoning. They say X equals 118. That's the corresponding angles, right? And they say that the measure of QRS plus X equals 180, so exactly what you're using. QRS equals 180 minus X, so that's 180 minus 118, or 62 degrees. Good. Definition of our linear pair, and simply subtracting from both sides. So this is a interesting thought, right? If a transversal is perpendicular to two parallel lines, then all 8 angles are congruent. So let me grab a line. They would be, you're right. So if we make 2 parallel lines, and then let me just get a different color for this transversal. How about red? So we cut through it at a perpendicular angle, right? This transversal I'm using is now perpendicular. And we can see all of the angles formed are congruent, and they're all right. So, good. It's not happening here, it looks like. Let's find each angle measure. So, measure of E, once again, you might want to draw it. I think it was yesterday's notes where they used a letter that wasn't in the figure. Did you see that? Yeah, it was in the box. There was a box. Anyway, so you always want to find what they're looking for, and we hope that they're using letters in the diagram. So EDG is right here. We're trying to find that angle measure. So what do you know about these 3 lines that can help you, Matthew?
Well, since FBC is 75 degrees, you can say by the linear pair here that the offset is 105 degrees. So you don't have to go any. And
But actually, what can we say about this angle that you named? FBC is 75, and how is that related to the very angle we're looking for, EDG? Why is it also 75? Yes, alternate exterior angles, right? 75. You were making it even more complicated. This next one is BDG. Okay, BDG is really this little X degrees, right? BDG is X degrees. Okay, so how are we going to find that angle, Kara?
Well, we can just do no, not corresponding, but, well, we could do linear angles, pair, linear pair.
So X makes a linear pair with what?
Well, FBC is a linear pair with ABF, and then you could do corresponding.
There you go. She says this 75 is a linear pair with ABF, and ABF is congruent to the angle we're looking for, BDG, because they're corresponding. And so what is this angle here, FBA? We said 105, so this angle must be 105. Let's see the reasoning that they gave here. They say alternate exterior angles. So here they did this. Oh, they did this as 75, and then they said X and this will make a linear pair. Slightly different way of looking, but same results. And that's all you need are the same results. There are many ways to find them here, okay? Okay, in this one, I actually drew in little angles, so I better erase those. But you might want to do that when you're working on these things. Draw in, use the diagram, draw a picture, draw on the picture. It's really good because sometimes you may actually be looking at the wrong angle if you don't watch out. So we're trying to find ABD. So once again, I can grab a pen. This is the angle we're looking for. And so this 2x plus 10 actually goes with the angle we're looking for. And the 3x minus 15, do you see it goes with this angle here? Okay, so what can we say about these two angles? Sydney, what can we say? Good, they are equal due to what? Alternate interior angles, good. So they are equal because they are alternate interior angles. So, Andrew, what would your next step be? And what would be your first thing? Okay, he's adding 15. They might be collecting x's. I don't know. Let's see what they did. Oh, they did everything in one step. Okay, so they subtracted 2 and added 15. And what would you call that? Simplify? Or it really is a property of equality, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it's an addition and a subtraction property of equality. And they don't name it very mathematically. They just say subtract. And then here is your answer. Oh, did everybody realize we had found x, not the actual degrees, so we have to substitute. Ooh, so watch out for that final step, right? It doesn't matter where you substitute x, even though we're finding a, b, d, because they are congruent, they're equal, and you could plug it in either, and we see that the angle is 60 degrees, okay? Who knows how 25 could be used in a really mean way? Mean way. If I was making what type of test? Multiple choice, right? So 25 would be a great wrong answer. A person does the perfect mathematical maneuvering to find it and then stops without resubstituting to find the angle. And isn't that sad? Because it looks like they knew nothing. You get a 0 for that, and you really knew a lot. So be really careful to plug it back in, okay?
That would be the mistake I made.
Okay, for number 1 then, what can we say about angle 1 and angle 2? Okay, Michael? Good, alternate exterior. And so we know they're congruent, right? So what is x? Good job. And angle 2 and angle 3. Andrew, what can we say about those two?
Corresponding angles.
And so what can we do with this information?
Add 30 to both sides and then subtract 30 x. And then divide.
Okay, and what did you get?
X equals 2.
And so what is each angle worth then?
120.
Good job. So we substitute that 2 back in and get 120. So he set them equal because he says they're corresponding, so they are congruent. And he solved for x and then substituted it to find the value. Okay? If the lines are not parallel, then this all would not be true. So yesterday we were talking about just corresponding angles, but it doesn't mean that they would have congruent things at all. Okay, angle 3 and angle 4, what can we say about those, Matthew?
I said angle 3 and angle 4 alternate interior angles.
And so what can we say about them?
They are congruent.
Good. So did you set these equal? And what did you find x is? Well, actually, x was 2 again, and so we have substitution. That's true too. But sometimes they'll change it up. He said you could have looked at the previous. Sometimes they'll say, okay, now we're going to look at this as a totally different relationship, you know, so watch out for that. And what can we say about angles 3 and 5, Kaylin?
They're same side interior.
So what's their relationship?
45x plus 30 plus 25x plus 10.
Because they form a linear pair, or you could say they're supplementary, right? So you're adding the 2, and you end up with, what is 45 plus 25? 70x plus 40 equals 180. So 70x equals
What?
1 40, and then 140 divided by 70 is 2. She got it. So you substitute 2, and what is each measure, or what is the measure of angle 3?
105.
And the measure of angle 5? Good, so 120 and 60. This was different because they are not congruent, but they are supplementary. Right? Okay, there you go. Very fun.